Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Fish Academy. It's your humble friend again, Kufre Francis, and right away I'm in a project site where we have the 30,000 capacity fish farm construction ongoing, and today is 20th of November 2019. Don't forget we kickstarted this project on the 4th of October 2019. Few weeks later, this is what we've been able to achieve. This is a 30,000 capacity fish farm, and I'm going to walk you around so that you see what we've been able to put right here on ground. I'm going to walk you around. And also in this video, I'm going to use this video to address a certain issue. I've been trying to bring that video on board, so I'm going to use this video to address that particular issue also. What actually delayed us in this project has been the access road, but we thank God it's dry season now in Enugu State. Everywhere is dry. The access road right now is very, very dry right here in Enugu State. And getting material, the remaining material to site now is not going to be a problem, which means in the next few weeks, in the next 2 weeks, I tell you, we're going to round up the project right here in the construction here in Enugu State. So if this is the first time you are checking on this channel, you are welcome on board. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to Fish Academy. If this is all you need to do now is just for you to check below the video, click on the red subscribe button, and after that, turn on the notification bell. This will enable you to be notified whenever we bring you the new video. On our channel, we have over 300 videos on this channel, videos on how to do so many things. You really need to go and scroll, check, and then click on the one, tick on the one that will interest you. And if you want to if you like, you can share with other friends. Don't mind me that I'm sweating. I'm under the sun. It's very, very hot right now in Enugu State. I tell you, the dry season has kickstarted in Enugu State. I left Port Harcourt this morning to down here to Sa, and while I left Port Harcourt, still today, it was already raining in Port Harcourt, 20th of November today, and getting to Enugu here, the sun, oh my God, is overwhelming. I'm getting darker already here in Enugu State. So, if this is not also the first time you are checking on this channel, you are welcome. Thank you for making Fish Academy channel your best and your most preferred channel on YouTube as regards fish farming. So we have 6 modules here of 5 by 10 meters each, and each of it is going to take 5,000 fish for 500 to 600 grams fish. That's what we want to grow out. That's what we want to be growing here, because we have a huge market for that size of fish right here in Nigeria. And I always tell you, if you want to grow fish, endeavor you grow it to market size in your area. Don't grow fish to a size that you grow it, maybe you grow fish to 5 kg and you find it very, very difficult to sell. You know what it means to feed fish to 5 kg, you know, it costs you a lot. But growing fish to a marketable size in your area, where maybe you grow it to 500, 600 grams in your area, where you know that the market is large, is huge in your area, I tell you, by then the feeding is not much. You make more profit selling it at that size than selling it at well, let's leave it. That's a story for another day. Today, we're on site. The issue actually I want to address is what factors to consider when choosing a site, before purchasing a land for fish farm. Factors you need to consider before purchasing a land for fish farm. I'm going to list them. I'm going to mention all of it right here and now. So those things you really need to consider before purchasing a land. Why I'm saying this, because so many fish farmers have gotten themselves into a problem after they purchase a land and they now use a farm for fish farming. So many of them have opted out from the business because they were not properly informed. And I'm going to also address the issue of RAS. You know, I'm going to address the issue of RAS, the recirculating system. I'm going to address that because I've shown you in one of my videos how to set up a RAS, you know, and people call me, I want to do a recirculating in my farm. Actually, I've been telling some people, I tell them, no, don't go into that. Forget about recirculating. I'm going to explain why I usually tell you should not consider recirculating in your farm, and why you also need to consider the recirculating in your farm. I'm going to also address that in this video. So when considering a location for your fish farm, the first thing you need to consider is the topography of the area. When I say topography, so many fish farmers have gotten themselves into a problem after getting a land and after siting a farm, constructing their farm. Then what happened? Flood comes and cutter away with their fish, and the fish now escape into the external water bodies. You know, so before choosing a land for fish farming, you might say, oh, I want to do earthen pond, and I'm told that earthen pond is good in a swampy area. Fine, earthen pond is good in a swampy area. In fact, that's what I usually advise. If you want to do earthen pond, you do it in a swampy area. Don't dig the earth in a place where there is no water underground, and you say you want to be doing earthen pond. You end up spending a lot, and the fish, they will not do better, you know. And also the disadvantage in this earthen pond is that it's very, very difficult to manage fish inside the earthen pond than to manage fish inside the concrete pond. Because in the concrete pond, you can, whenever you discharge your water, you want to change your water, you can easily do your sorting, you can easily do your grading, you know, then removing the bigger fish from the smaller fish. But in the earthen pond, where you grow your fish either for 6 months before changing the water during harvest, you discover that when you stock 5,000 fish, what you are seeing there is just 2,000 or it's just 1,500. You begin to accuse your workers that they have been taking your fish. No, what happened right there is that the bigger ones have been eating up the smaller fish. Simple. The bigger fish have been eating up the smaller fish. So, but that's by the way, I'm talking about topography of the area where you want to get a land. Don't get in place, you know, places in your country, just like places in Nigeria here that do get flooded. Like if you get to Bayelsa now, I'm told that in some part of Bayelsa they were not able to conduct election because of flood, you know. So imagine that there is fish farm in that area where that flood took place, you know, which means you will lose your fish to flood. So when you want to situate it, when you're considering a land to situate your fish farm, it should be in an upland so that even if there is flood will not come and cut away your fish. You might say, oh, the flood don't used to be much. You understand? Or you don't want to do concrete. You don't want to do earthen pond. You want to do concrete. Therefore, you still situate it in a flood-prone area. There might be a time that the flood will just come and your fish are all gone. I've had cases like that. Some people call me, oh, Fish Academy, please, I need a place I want to transfer my fish. Flood is disturbing my farm. So many of my fish have escaped into the external body. Please help me look for a place where I can, you know. I've been receiving such calls. So in order for you not to fall victim, I'm now using this video to address that please, when thinking of where to situate a farm, don't consider that low land that is flood prone. Don't consider it, because you will end up growing your fish for fishermen, you know. Yeah. So the second thing, if you don't get it, then you can use the number on screen, then we'll explain better. So the second thing I would like you to consider when considering location for fish farming, you consider the access road. You know, what I usually tell people, fish farming is just one good lucrative business, just like I can say even more than the poultry business. I can say that because one thing about fish, if you have fish in good quantity, you don't need to be taking your fish to the market. They will come to your farm and then they will buy your fish in good quantity. Where you begin to have problem is that maybe you have just 500 fish and you are looking for buyers. You want all these big time buyers to come to your farm and clear fish. They will first of all ask you, how many kg do you have? And you now tell them, oh, I have just 200 kg. They will not come, you know. So, but if you have fish in good quantity, these guys, they are ready to move in and then even clear your entire fish at once. How are they going to move in? They are not going to drop using a helicopter into your farm. No, they need to pass through the road. They will come with a car. They will come with a van to clear your fish. So there must be access road to your farm. Very, very chicken out. You know, the next thing you need to consider when talking about location for your fish farm, you really need to also consider water. And in this case now, I'm going to also talk about the recirculating system, why you don't need the recirculating system and why you need the recirculating system in your farm. So you really need to consider water in that area. Is it a place where you cannot access water underground? There are places like that in Enugu. As I speak here, right here on site, we have a running river right here behind the fence. We have a running river. In fact, while we were excavating, for those of you that followed us on this channel, while we were excavating, in fact, this place is like a swamp. But underground, there might not be water. But we also have water running behind this fence. And I've discussed with my client, you know, and I've assured him that we are not going to lack water right here on this site. This where we are now going to apply the recirculating system. This is where we are going to do the RAS. We are also not just the RAS. We are also going to ensure. We also going to ensure we also going to ensure we make use of the running water behind the fence. So what we want to do here, right here on site, we are going to have a underground reservoir and also a filter, you understand, so that we get the water, the flowing river behind the fence into it. And then we filter it, from one stage to the other. We're gonna filter it at maybe five different level layers, with 5 different filters, until we get to a point where we now pump it direct into the main model that we are having here. So it's not going to be a big deal. We're not going to pump water into the filter. No, we are going to have the water flow from the running river. The running river is very, very clean. Yes, that is what they use right here in this area of Enugu. The running river is very, very clean. So we are going to get that, into, we are going to do in form of a culvert. So when it overflows in that particular region, it flows into the filter, into this filter tank. And once it gets into the filter tank, then we begin to filter it until we get to the last filter tank. Then we now send it straight here. So we are not going to lack water here in Enugu. But in other part of Enugu, where you don't have where you are not so lucky of having the water here running is okay. It's been tested. The water running behind the fence is okay, and it has been tested. And we're also going to ensure that whenever we get it down to the underground filter tanks, we're also going to ensure we test it very, very well before sending it to the main model. So at all time, all year round, we are going to be having water here. So I'm talking about the RAS system now. Do you need the RAS system if you are someone in River State? You don't need it. If you are in Delta State, you don't need it. If you are in Akwa Ibom State, in some parts, you don't need it. If you are in some certain areas, you don't need RAS. What is actually this RAS? RAS is the recirculating system in a fish farm. And why will you need to go and spend more money? Because if you are recirculating, which means you're also using power, because once the water from leave your main pond into the filter, you're also going to use power to send it back. So if there is water in your area, you don't need it. All you need to do is for you to get your water direct from the borehole. Then you send it into your pond, which is more crystal, purer, and even better. Okay? So it's now your pond, except you have even if you have solar in your farm, you have so many solar panels, you don't have issues with solar at all. If you are not running the aquaponic system in your farm, if it's not aquaponic, then you don't need it at all. You don't, because it's going to be waste of resources. And you know that if you spend more in production, it's also going to reduce the return of investment. It's going to reduce the profit you're supposed to make from the farm. So if you spend more in diesel or in petrol, which means it's going to subtract from the profit you're supposed to be making. So you don't need it. Places where you need it, you can contact me. I tell you, yes, you need it or you don't need it. So that's for the water aspect of it, the recirculating system. So you also have to consider, don't forget, I'm also going to walk you around so you see what is happening here. Don't forget, your humble friend, Kufre Francis. And if you have anything you want to say, you want to drop your contribution, we do welcome contributions, on this platform. We do welcome contribution. So you can also use the comment section to drop your contribution, because we may not mention all. We may not mention everything you really need to consider when trying to choose a site, a location for your fish farm. So if you have other ideas, maybe as regards your area, you can use the comment box, drop your comments using the comment section. So you really also need to consider the security aspect in that area. Is it okay? Actually, before you situate a fish farm, gone are the days where someone will just go to a particular place, and then you just begin to dig or begin to build without considering the security aspect of it. And then at the end of the day, in the night, people go there to fish or to farm or to fish your fish, to steal your fish. You don't do that. you don't do that. If you want to make profit, ensure that your fish farm is well secure. I'm going to stop there for now while I walk you around so you see how and what we've been able to achieve within a few days. This is your humble friend again, Kufre Francis, and I love you. Let's move around.